I gotta tell you, I'm very excited to talk about what we're gonna be talking about today in this live stream. Talking about really 5 simple, easy to copy strategies that brought me from literally broke. I'm talking like not even zero, but negative, like hundreds of dollars in my bank account, to now creating a business with multiple revenue streams that's generating over 5 figures, over $10,000 a month. But we need to be honest here, firstly. Frankly, we need to be honest because there's a lot of videos, a lot of trainings wanting to talk about generating money. And I know you don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste your time. So this training today, it's going to roadmap the processes that I really walked back here in the last week or so. I really thought about, okay, what did I really do creating this business, creating these multiple revenue streams that built up, that scaled this, that made it possible to generate 5 figures a month? Because it was not easy. I mean, even the description of this video, it says, hey, I did this literally, if you look at just the numbers, from 0 to 10K in about a year or so. But this roadmap in this journey literally took years and a ton of mistakes, a lot of bad decisions, a lot of experimentation. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is, again, road mapping the actual processes that you can follow to get out. Frankly, can we be frank on this live stream training today, to get out of that mindset of wandering with no direction with your money, to road mapping actually actionable steps, a mindset that you can take to actually create the income that you're looking to create here. So I want to welcome you to this training today. Let me know where you're watching from in the live chat or in the comment section. I am going to be honest with you. This is one of the things that I'm most excited to talk to you about. It is money. It's creating financial freedom, whatever that means for you. Okay, I'm not here to tell you it has to be 10K. It's whatever you're comfortable with. The fact that you're watching this training today means that you're trying, I would assume, let me know if you agree with this, but you're trying to hit a certain number that you're not hitting currently. Now, my job is simple here on this channel. You know, we talk a lot about the gig economy. Yeah, I help you in the gig economy. But what's unique about this team here, and firstly, I want to welcome Kevin to VIP status. Kevin clicked the join button down below. If you can't see that, you're probably on mobile. You'll get access to exclusive content, really the inner circle here, as well as custom emotes, badges, and just unique ways to stand out in live chat. So Kevin, welcome to VIP status. My goal here is to make you money. You know, a lot of the videos that we talk about, it's a DoorDash, it's Uber Eats, right? It's the gig economy. But more macro than that, I want to make you money, because can we be frank here? Again, I'm not pulling any punches on this training today. You're not going to get rich driving in the gig economy. I've said this before. I said this years ago. You're not going to necessarily make $10,000 a month driving for DoorDash. And if you make anywhere close to that, chances are you're grinding away. That's something that's not sustainable, both physically, mentally, and really asset-wise, right, for your vehicle. So my goal here, the reason that you're on this team, is to look at all the revenue streams. Okay, this year, active streams are fine. Part of my portfolio is active revenue streams, like the gig economy, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, etc. But what I'm going to be showing you today, I'm going to break down a few of my revenue streams, it's semi-passive as well. And again, I'm going to roadmap different ideas for you, and really the characteristics that allow me to even make this possible. So if you're not a part of the team here, I definitely welcome you to subscribe and join the team. But hey, if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, right? Like I mentioned, there's a lot of videos. There's a lot of people on this internet, on YouTube, that talk about money. As a team member here, or at least watching this video, I feel like I can be frank with you. I'm not a millionaire, okay? I'm not a millionaire. I'm not someone who is generating 30K every single month, 40K. I'm not, okay? I have found some success in the last year, and this video is going to map out how I did it, simply put. And there's going to be haters in your journey as well. We're going to talk about that today. There's going to be haters. There's people that are just hating the simple concept of talking about money. That's unfortunate. Talking about money and talking about building financial wealth shouldn't be something that is looked down upon, right? It's only looked down upon by those who are, frankly, too lazy to actually go out and get what they want. Because I tell you this, I mean, I'm sorry if we're ruffling some feathers here, but I mean, you're not going to be gifted 10K a month, 5K a month, whatever number it is for you. So if that bothers you, if you're not a hustler, if you're not a grinder, if you don't want to actually take the steps to improve your money situation in general, and I'm not saying that, hey, I'm generating 2 million, right? I'm just talking about some success points here. But if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, my name is Mike. You can see here just a little bit about me here. Got a couple of degrees, right? A couple of pieces of paper, but I mean, frankly, that's not even what allowed me to earn this money here, okay? I mean, my story is, I'm coming to you here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And my first summer job turned into my first job out of college. And you're going to understand the building blocks of what I mean by this and why this is so important. My first summer job was unloading trucks. Unloading trucks was my first summer job. I worked at Walmart, small town. I grew up about 40 minutes outside of Pittsburgh. Now I'm coming to you from, more Pittsburgh Central. But even that, I mean, we're not talking about, San Diego, where I recently moved from. And I moved to San Diego for 3 years. Grew up 40 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, kind of small town, right? Even Pittsburgh here, it's kind of a medium town. And my first job was unloading trucks in between semesters at Penn State. I mean, don't ignore the journey. I was in those 18-wheelers in the back of Walmart, summer, whenever. And that shift, my friend, was from 4 p.m. until 1 a.m. in the morning. It's very interesting to think about. And I worked around that entire store. I worked there for a couple of summers, unloading trucks, right? Everything that you can imagine in a Walmart store. And then I moved to the ICS. For anyone that's familiar with Walmart, is a stalker, okay? And then I'm stalking, I'm on the floor, right? And I thought that was a big kind of an upgrade. Well, it kind of was from the unloading there, and unloading paint cans, what have you. And then I really wanted to kind of get that premier job, right? The nice job, which was the front end, cashier. My background, you'll find out here shortly, is in customer service. A little bit later in sales. So when I got the job as a cashier in the front end, I thought that was the best thing. I can wear nicer clothes, cleaner clothes. I'm interacting with people. And I'll be honest with you. You can do this if you're an extrovert or an introvert. I mean, you're probably watching this video like, hey, yeah, you have pretty good conversational skills. I would actually define myself as more introverted, an extroverted, introvert, whatever, right? But for the longest time, a straight, hard-nosed introvert. So even the cashier job, working with people was kind of stressful, right? Next, after that, I went to 100 plus calls a day. I'm making whatever it was at Walmart. I don't know. And you need to understand these building blocks. This is going to describe kind of the struggle season of where I started to where I'm going. So lean in for all of this, because maybe you can relate. Maybe you're working a part-time job right now. Maybe you're working a full-time job that you really don't like, and you're in that struggle season. You're like, I don't like this. Not only do I not like this, I don't like the environment. I don't like what I'm doing, and I'm not even getting paid a lot for it. Let me know if you're in that struggle season. But I went from unloading trucks to sitting somewhere like here, a call center. I mean, this is a nice looking, kind of residential looking call center, but you get it. So I went from unloading trucks to, working in retail, to shortly after graduating from Penn State with my undergrad in communications, to taking hundreds of calls a day on the phone, inbound, nonstop, working for a healthcare company here in Pittsburgh. And I worked there for, I think it was 6 years, answering phones. And it was pretty much data entry. You take the order, you punch it in, how many units, verify the price, shipping and receiving every day. 100 plus calls a day doing that, just taking orders. And I remember sitting there, and you look at the money coming in, it was about $40,000. It's a respectable amount. And I'm not here to tell you that whatever number is not a respectable amount. This is not about that. This is about hitting your financial goals and reframing your process. Because if you're watching this, what you're doing right now isn't necessarily getting you to where you want to be. So I was sitting there, and I'm like, I want to take more control of my income. I mean, the money was fine, but I had a number in mind that I always wanted to hit. And I'm thinking, I'm never going to get there doing this job. So I started looking at who was making the money. Who typically makes the most money at a company? Well, a lot of times it's your salespeople. Your salespeople are typically some of your highest earners. So I wanted to go where the money was. I wanted to, again, create my own income. I wanted to have some ownership. I did not like, let me know if you agree with this, I didn't like not having control of what? My time? What could I spend money on because I was so limited in earnings? So I wanted more control. So then I made the leap, which turned into a going down with the ship moment because I took a risk. So what I did was I packed up everything and I moved to sunny, picturesque San Diego, California. I moved with a then girlfriend. That broke up shortly after. Here I am by myself now in San Diego. Move into a new place, get some roommates, which I don't really love. Well, the roommates were fine. It's just the idea of having the roommates, right? Versus just the privacy of prior. Now, San Diego was beautiful. It was perfect. It was picturesque. It was incredible. I loved the area, and I still do. And I have a part of myself still in San Diego. So I joined a team in sales. Can you imagine? Just think about that. Packing up everything, moving across country. I packed everything in a 2015. No, 2010, because it was after I graduated. A 2010 Dodge Caliber. And I packed up a few things, my clothes, what have you, and moving to San Diego. And I joined a sales team for a startup company that, as a lot of startup companies do, they're very volatile. And the sales role, I'll get into the sales role and the results here in a second. But the short of it is that sales company went under, or the company in itself went under, the startup. So, all right, well, dust yourself off and try again. Well, let's do it better, right? Let's work for a more established company. So I joined a more established company, thinking that there was nice security in that, having the basis of, hey, they're not going to go under, right? And working in sales for this SEO website tech company. Because remember, the whole reason I'm doing this is to take charge of my income, to make more income on my own terms, to hit the numbers that I want to hit. Let me ask you a question. Hey, I see you in the training today, Quest. Michael, thanks to everyone being in the training today. Let me ask you a question. How many sales did I have at this company? Established company, they have all the resources, good software, good leads, good business practices, pretty good tech. How many sales did I make at this new company? I made one sale in like the 6 months that I was there. Now, 3 months of that was training, let's say, okay? But once live, making calls, etc., I made one real sale. I think I had one mini sale, but one actual sale for a $699 product. I went to 2 conventions, flew to Oklahoma, flew to, I'm trying to remember the other state, I forget, but Ohio, that's what it was. 2 conventions, 0 sales. There was 1 sale in that entire thing here. So it wasn't working. So I got fired. I got fired, and that was not the first time that I was fired from a job. So tip number 1 for you is the research and roadmap phase. This is what I was doing. I was trying to research, I was trying to roadmap some way to the income that I wanted to generate. So here's action item number 1. You might want to write this down. We're going to go over 5 actionable tips, and you can see here steps within each tip here that's building this roadmap. Okay, research what exactly? I want you to research, what are we researching here, man? Well, number 1, an actual earnings amount. You got to put some numbers to this. Okay, I'm going to ask you right now. You can write this in the live chat in the comment section on your notepad or just think it out loud, especially because we're talking about money. I understand not everyone wants to talk about money. So what is your number right now? What is your monthly, your weekly, your yearly number? My number has always been 6 figures. And my parents will tell you that has been the case for years since I was a teenager. I had this idea that 6 figures was the number that I want to hit. Now, obviously, 5 figures a month will clearly get you 6 figures. And again, I'm not claiming to be a millionaire. I'm claiming to have some success, and I'm sharing it with you as a team member. So what is your number? Why do I ask that? Because a lot of this isn't cognizant, it's not real unless you actually write it down. Okay, number 2, we have our number. Well, how are you going to get this? What mediums are you going to use to get this? Okay, I want to make 10K a month. How? Well, I make, I don't know, 3K a month at my job. Okay, great. You have 7K left. So let's do some math here. I'm going to grab my phone. So if I asked you, you have 7K left for 4 weeks, that's $1,750 a week. $1,750 a week. Okay, well, if I can hit, what, 600? 600 a week on active revenue streams, like, driving for Uber, driving for DoorDash. Okay, that's $1,150 left. Then I need to generate a week to hit my 10K. This is exactly what I did. You reverse engineer. Okay, well, $1,150. Do I have any friends or family that I can refer to these platforms? Some of these platforms pay $3, $4, $5, $1,000 for a single referrer. Friends, family, right? Okay, if I got 1 referral every month, $1,000, that kind of knocks something off. Or do I have a product, a skill set, something that I can contract out to sell? And I got to tell you that selling is tricky. I don't like selling. Let me just come close here. I don't like selling. I like the sales process, but I don't like selling. The heck does this guy mean? Let me explain what I mean. The reason that I sucked at that sales job was because I was selling. I was pushing. I was pushing a product that, I knew some stuff about it. I'm pretty techie, websites, SEO, but I wasn't immersed in the space. I haven't tried other SEO providers, the website providers. Who am I to say, hey, this product is the best? I'm like, man, you haven't even tried the other products. You're just saying this because you're selling, you're pushing. And in my heart of hearts, I can't push something on someone that I don't fully have knowledge in and experience in. Call me crazy. And I thought it was almost magical that some people could do that, and hats off to them. There's nothing wrong with that. That is sales. I recently heard in a podcast, evangelize, if I'm saying that correctly, evangelize for products. You're not selling products, you're evangelizing for products. So whenever you click on the Amazon storefront down below, those are accessories for your side hustle, whatever it is. I have tried, I have used those, most every single one. If not, I've read extensive reviews and videos on other ones. I've tried alternatives. So I can speak in hearts of hearts that, yeah, I think this is a great product. I'm not selling it because I have to sell 10 units of it. You get it. We have to move on here. Is there anyone else doing this? So you want to make 10K a month. Okay. Well, can you make $600 a week on DoorDash? Can you make one referral a month? Can you set up a website? Can you set up an e-store? Can you start your business, your consulting, whatever it is? An affiliate program? Are other people doing that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the tough question, lastly, here is how much time are you willing to commit to step number one, the research and roadmaps phase? Can I be honest here? Is I started this, my business here on YouTube. Now, again, my path is a business stemming from YouTube. This strategy and these roadmaps work for any roadmap, any medium, websites, as long as it's active and semi-passive revenue streams. Again, we're a team here. You have to do step number one, the research and roadmaps phase for your specific niche. A clothing brand. I've had friends that wanted to start clothing brands. Like, fantastic. Is someone else doing that? Yep. So it's a proven and profitable niche, and it's up to you to do the research for the best practices to get that 2,000 a month or whatever you're trying to hit to get your ultimate number, right? But how much time are you willing to complete, or to commit rather? I've done this business, and I'm going to answer these questions here. Actually, let's just answer the questions right now. I've done this both part-time and full-time. Let me take a sip of, we got tropical Red Bull today. What are you sipping on? Hope you're doing well. Let me know where you're watching from in the live chat or the comments. I hope to inspire you today. Let's take a sip of this. $10K a month is a good number. 60, 50. Posting your earnings goals here in the live chat. So here's how I want to answer this question. My number is 10K a month. The mediums that I'm going to use, let's go over this, YouTube, because again, this is my journey. Your roadmap's going to be different. I use YouTube, AdSense, which is the Google ad payouts. I use memberships, which is the VIP feature that we just cited earlier. Super chats, which is another monetization, but that's not even a big piece of the pie, okay? Affiliate income. Anyone can do affiliate. Mike, hey man, I don't have time to be a YouTuber, dude. All right? I can't make videos. I don't want to make, you don't have to. You don't have to. Don't make excuses, okay? We're not talking about being a YouTuber. In fact, I'm going to have a whole channel on talking about that if you would like. So subscribe here, look for those announcements, because frankly, there's a ton of money in it, but it's not about that, okay? Affiliate income. You can make $1,000 a month alone on affiliate income. Best Buy, B&H Photo, Amazon. Because when you evangelize products to your audience, I guarantee you know at least 500 people or whatever it is, and they know people. Active streams, apps, right? What I drive on, Uber Eats, Shipt, whatever. Those active streams. James says 3K monthly. Let's hustle. Let's do it. James, a VIP. Appreciate you having here as a VIP, James. Courses and products. Listen, you don't have to be the world-renowned expert. You have to be just a few steps ahead of the person behind you. So think about the niche that you're in, whatever niche it is. IT, like me, customer service. Management, are you a manager? It can be what? Toss me some ideas. It can be the beauty, the makeup space, cooking, whatever it is. Is there something, I bet there is there something you can teach? And if you can teach it, you can monetize it because you're solving a problem. So cooking, right? What can I do for cooking, dude? How can I monetize that? Simple. Okay, the power hour for new cooks. And it could be a 1-hour video course on you saying, okay, welcome. As a new cook, we're going to go through the entire basics of what you need. This isn't going to be complicated. I'm not a whatever chef de cuisine or whatever it's called. I'm an at-home cook like you. I'm going to save you time. I'm going to go over products. I'm going to go over cooking methods. My best recommendation, blah, 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 in this 1 hour course. You can sell that course for like 29 bucks. And then who's the audience for cooks? Millions of people that you can reach. And then merch. Is anyone else doing this? Yes. Are the creators? At the time, no one was dominating in this niche, in my opinion. Now, yeah, there's people that are doing well. And this is when I started in 2017. Absolutely, there's people doing well. But I want to dominate. And then how much time are you willing to commit? These are my answers. Part-time to full-time when possible. I started this part-time, and actually I'm going to show you my earnings here when I first started here shortly, but let's move on here. I try to make sure you're not looking at a single screen for too long, right? So after our research phase, we move into number 2, the smart experimentation phase. You have to start. You can see the graphic there to the right. Start before you're ready. That is tricky because, you know, it's the kind of popular adage that people will do more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure. I mean, think about our roadmap that we just talked about. You got to start. It's what? Procrastination is the biggest killer of all dreams. Procrastination is the biggest killer of all dreams. I don't know, man. I mean, I just gotta wait till it's all ready, right? Because we see things like this. In 2019, the failure rate of all startups was around 90%. Research concludes 21.5% of startups fail in the first year, 30% in the second year, 50% in the 5th year, and 70% in their 10th year. This from Investopedia. So I understand it's discouraging when you see things like this, and I feel like everyone has seen something like this, like, hey, a lot of startups fail. The good news is you're not a startup, at least in that kind of a sense. Because, yeah, I mean, you're a startup. You're trying something new, right? But you don't have the brick and mortar necessarily. You don't have to spend $15K on equipment. You don't have to hire, right, and pay utilities, etc. So you have a lower barrier of entry. But be careful with that because it can seem like all around you, people are starting and failing these things. Affiliate income, course sales. The reason they're failing is they're doing things on the average level. So the reason that, I mean, this channel and this business is growing is because I am obsessively looking at growth metrics, best practices. I'm learning. I'm telling you, you can experience the same thing if you do the same thing. That's why I'm telling you to copy these steps, literally copy these steps in this training, because that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm following the path of other proven businesses and leaders. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. In fact, that's the wrong way to do it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to simply copy what other successful people are doing. So it's okay to be in the research season, but don't have paralysis by analysis. Start with what you have. You don't need to go in on the website and the course trainings and the affiliates. I would start with one. That's kind of what I tell you, like with app driving. Master one and then add some others. That's what I did. It took me 4 years just to sell my first course here, which is called Mastering Delivery. There is a coupon code linked down below that will be expiring soon. Save 20%, but seriously, that is your A to Z course to master delivery, food delivery platforms. And right now you can save 20% at yourdrivermike.com/delivery. It took me 4 years just to start that course, but I knew 4 years that I wanted to have a course. But it was just too much to manage at one time. So I just, over time you build that. So you find what's sticking, what's bringing you the most traffic, what's bringing you the most engagement. Look at your analytics and your trends. So I think an easy place for you to start, let's just say it's affiliate income. Well, I mean, you have to start, but then you should be studying the best practices of conversions, right? You're not going to say like, all right, well, I'm going to be an affiliate for this $5,000 Red camera. Have you ever used it? No. Have you used their competitors? No. Have you ever shot on a cinematographer's camera? Like, no, that's not the best product for you to be an evangelist for. Start with what you know. If you want to bottle your experience into a course, I would start with the courses. Actually, there's a link down below. It's another affiliate link, and feel free just to go to these websites if you want, but it's for Podia. It's for the platform that I use for course selling. It's super easy. And I can say that I recommend Podia because I've looked at Kajabi, I've looked at Teachable, and I've looked at their prices, their experience, right? There you go. So I can be an evangelist for them. I think that's a great place to start selling a course. Why? Here, I need to come close here for this one. Because a course, you use with what you have, right? Point number 3, you start with what you have. You film on this, okay? You film on this. You got a phone. Yeah, I mean, you don't even need a tripod. You can prop it up somewhere, and you film yourself being an expert at whatever it is. Or cook. I'm sure you can MacGyver something to prop it up over in the kitchen, right? Because if the content's there, the value's there. And yeah, it's nice to have a nice, clean, squeaky clean package with the bow on it. But I mean, start with what you have. So as you start this new thing here, then we move into the power through season. So remember, research and roadmap. We've done it. We know what we want to do. We want to have the mediums. Tip number 2, we're experimenting. We're starting to see what's working, what's sticking. We're starting to look at analytics. Now it's time for the power through season. I love talking about this. Let me take another sip of Red Bull here. How you doing? Appreciate you getting value in this training today. Definitely drop me a like if you're getting value, in this training. And if you do want to join our inner circle, definitely click that join button down below. Let's talk about the power through season. So you started, okay? I think this is, if the procrastination doesn't get you, this might get you. Can I repeat that? If the procrastination, let's just come close for this. If the procrastination doesn't get you, this might get you. The doubters, the haters, the naysayers. It's going to happen. So there's going to be the doubters, the haters, the naysayers, but you got to be realistic with your growth trajectory as well. Areas of opportunity, that's a polite way of saying the areas that you're sucking at, and then your revenue. So when I was doing this, and I believe next we're going to see the earnings here. Nope, that's okay. So when I was doing this, when I was starting, I was realistic with my growth trajectory, my revenue. So what I'm going to show you right here, right there, is I wanted to tell you a story about this growth trajectory. So I started this business on YouTube, and remember, well, rather, think of how I'm saying this, a business on YouTube, not just YouTube, I'm going to make videos, it's going to be great. No, thinking about this as a business and thinking about your revenue streams as a business, because if you don't, again, you're going to get swallowed up by average, and you might get swallowed up by this, the struggle season. So right here is a little image, because I remember live streaming. Well, hey, how about, this is very meta, right? We're live streaming right now. And this is when I first started. Remember, I started this YouTube business in 2017. And I was streaming on all platforms on Twitter. I don't know why. Versus YouTube. On Periscope at the time, I'm not even sure if they still use Periscope or if that's still a thing. And I'm live streaming, talking about Uber, whatever, Lyft. And I had 0 viewers. And this is funny, I actually told this story in our new hire orientation at one of those sales jobs. But anyway, I was live streaming for, I'll have you guess, how many people? How many people was I live streaming for? Take another. Well, even less than the sales number, a fat zero, a nice goose egg, no one. I was live streaming anyway. I'm hey, talking to zero, no people. And that little person icon lit up. One. I had one viewer. And they went on the live chat on Twitter and they said, "You're not streaming to anyone, man. Who are you talking to?" They said, "You're not streaming to anyone. Who are you talking to?" And I remember saying, well, I'm providing value. I'm talking about blah, blah, blah. And people watch this on the replay. So I'm streaming for the replay as well. The point there is the power through season. It's someone's kind of like maybe making fun of you a bit. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? So I was being realistic with my growth trajectory. I was streaming to zero people, but I still had confidence to power through season, the naysayers, the doubters. And I know that, I mean, you're like, come on, man, that's not really a hater. No, but I will tell you this, every single day there's haters right here. Okay, but right here, let's talk about low revenue. Now, I did want to show you these numbers. Check this out. We talked about naysayers of, the one person on the stream. What about the self-doubt when it comes to money? So this is when I first started. Siri wanted to chime in there for a second. That was interesting. So this is when I first started. 2017, from day one, January 20th of 2017, I just grabbed a random segment of time. I believe this was 15 months of earnings. So I want to show you my earnings here on YouTube when I first started. This is a year and about a year and a half of earnings. And each of those ticks is a day, okay? Just measuring the daily income. And I highlighted one day for you, $78.43. And you can see two peaks there that are around the $70 range. I will tell you what, I thought those days were such high earning days. I just earned $78 making videos on YouTube. I thought that was crazy. But look at every other day, earning nothing from January to December, an entire year basically, making, I kid you not, under $1 a day. $1, 60 cents, $2, $3. And even for that 15 months, it only ever peaked out at $78 a day. Can we be real here? This averaged out to about $280 a month. If we average this all out, because you can see here, $4,565 over 15 months. It's like $280 a month. That is before any and all taxes for all of that work, for like $250 a month. So we're talking about the struggle season here. How will you supplement low revenue if this is a part-time hustle? That's what I was doing. I was working a 9 to 5 through this entire time. I was working the customer service job. I moved to San Diego. I worked for a startup. The startup went under. I worked for another sales job. I got fired. This entire time since 2017, I was in power through season. I refused to let any haters, any low revenue detract me from this goal. This is what you're going to do. You're starting to build. You're starting to grow. Now, I have to tell you, again, answer that question. It's not real until you're bringing home some real money. So again, I'm here to be real with you. I'm here to bring you both sides of the coin here. I'm never going to pretend that, hey, this is a magical way to make money. It's easy to make money. No, the hardest thing to do is to make self-income. I think we all understand that. And even harder to be in that top 15% of earners, 6 figures, whatever it is. It's not easy, which is exactly why I'm talking to you here today. But the biggest opportunity, lean in for this, reset, shake it off real quick. Let's have a reset here. I'm gonna take another sip. I'm gonna snap you out of it real quick. Snap out of it, don't lull, I know. All right, jump back in. Little reset, because I know, you're listening, we need to actually actively listen here and take action. The biggest opportunity right now might be in digital. This is the best time to start any of those mediums that I talked about. Check this out. This is a percentage of US population who's currently using any social media, a measurement from 2008 to 2021. 2021, 82% of US population is using some kind of social. There's an audience out there. Gone are the days, do I need to knock on the door? And there's still a market for that. That's fine. But if you want to cast the wide focused net, now is the best time to get into the digital space. Again, with course selling, with selling a product on Etsy or your own website, starting on YouTube or maybe even Twitch, but again, my expertise is in YouTube here. Now's the best time to build the 5 figures or whatever you want to build in digital. Now, you can absolutely still start a brick and mortar. You can still carry physical products. That's not what I'm talking. I'm simply talking about what I know, what I've done. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to know something that I don't know about starting a brick and mortar. There's other places for that. But digital, there could be a massive opportunity here. So think about that. Instead of having to blindly send out mailers or have someone hopefully walk into your store that you're paying $3K a month on commercial rent, what have you, I can host my own website for $80 a month. I can sell a course for whatever, $80, one sale, I'm already covering my expenses. And I basically have 82% of the US population somewhere that I can reach across digital. Now again, you got to do some work here. Well, how do I reach them? Well, you evangelize from a medium, from Facebook, from YouTube. You go where they are, okay? If your audience is on Facebook, you should probably start on Facebook, make a business Facebook page, start communicating in Reddit threads and community posts on Facebook, and then doing the 80-20 rule, 80% contributing, 20% giving. So, well, they're both giving, right? But 80% contributing to those forums, and then 20% saying, oh, by the way, if you're interested, I run this website, or I help people learn how to do this, or I made a video on this. And that links back to your website or whatever it is, your YouTube page. Now with that, make sure you're reading the terms of service of websites, of Reddit communities, especially on Reddit. Sometimes they have rules against linking. Okay, that's your research. You got to do some research here. So number 4, 5 easy to follow strategies to build your income. These strategies have allowed me to go from broke to $10,000. And I say broke because when that company went under, by the way, it went under because they failed to pay their employees, because they did not have money. I kid you not. And that happened over, I think at the worst scenario, over multiple pay periods. It was bad. And when I said earlier, going down with a sinking ship, it's because I didn't see the red flags, which were so clearly in front of my face, but I was blind to it. Literally why I said that was a going down with the ship moment. This is why you're learning here today. So the growth season. So now we have a strategy of, okay, how am I going to do this? What numbers am I trying to hit? So now you're starting to find things that work. Hey, I had my first sale because I'm targeting the best audience. And I got to tell you that this goes so deep. This is, hey man, hey, this is pretty high level stuff, dude. Okay, well, why aren't you doing it then? Well, what do you mean? Can you go deeper? I mean, I can go deeper on this, but I mean, how long do you want to sit here for? Okay, These are best practices. You got to meet me halfway. You got to do the research here because, like, for instance, when you're finding something that's working, then I'll tell you, okay, if you came to me and said, I have a website, how do I reach people? I just told you a few ways, community tabs. Then I could also tell you, spend money on Google ads. Well, how do I do that? Well, you have to have frequency capping on. And then you should also keyword search for these demos, blah, blah, blah. You should probably unmark the top 10% of, right? What? You're talking about, yeah, all of that I've done. Researching Google ads and there's a lot to this. There's a lot behind the scenes that you don't see here. So once you find something that's working, double down on it. I'm getting a lot of traffic from Reddit. I'm getting a lot of traffic from Facebook or whatever it is. Good. Double down on that. Like I just told you, I didn't start the course for 4 years. I was making nothing in the first year or two. And then my business blew up in the last year, which is kind of why I wanted to talk to you about this, because I found something that was working and I doubled down. I solved problems. People had questions about finances in their 1099. So I brought on a certified financial planner. And then once you're in the growth season, you're starting to make some money. Think about business reinvestments. This should be your goal. For instance, once you start hitting 5K, 7K, 8, let's pause. I just want a quick heads up here that I really want you to think that these numbers are not imaginary. They're not otherworldly. Because I don't want you to think, that's crazy. 10K a month is crazy money. What's funny is it's exponentially higher than the sales job, okay? If you want to hit 15K a month, 5K a month, whatever it is, you got to go all in. If you're not even sold on your number, then you might not be sold in your revenue streams anyway. So once you start getting some revenue, I would look at business reinvestments because I don't want you to get comfortable. I don't want you to get comfortable. I'm not comfortable, right? I listen to a lot of podcasts that say hey, you're kind of always scared as an entrepreneur because you're seeing some success and you never want to let go of that success. So once you're in the growth season, I would look at business reinvestments. And we'll see more of this in tip 5 here. But where are the smart investments? I mentioned advertising. Google ads can be a great way to, or YouTube ads is actually what I paid for, could be a great way to reach people if you're trying to bring attention to a YouTube channel. If you have a business, remember in tip 1, the research and road mapping, we talked about different mediums to use. I would always create a YouTube channel as well. Whatever you're doing, courses, a website, affiliate, I would always create a YouTube channel as well. Because if you can grow that YouTube channel, then you're reaching billions of people that are actively using YouTube. And it's also a great lead gen for you. Sponsorships, partnerships. Again, trying to reach a new, there you go, trying to reach a new audience. How do I reach a new audience? How am I going to dominate growth season? It's taking your growth from 20% quarter over quarter to 80%, to 120%, 99.9%, whatever, right? You get it. And then we enter the optimization season. So I'll give you an example here. As my business is hitting these certain numbers, I'm moving still into the growth season. I don't know if we ever leave the growth season, but I'm also looking at the optimization season. So in fact, if you have video editing skills and or graphic design skills, check the community tab on this channel. We are hiring an editor, graphic designer. There's a budget for that. I'm in the optimization season. So in the growth season of tip number 4, I'm reinvesting in, I've done Google ads. I'm probably going to go even more, double down on Google ads. I'm trying to reach new audiences, but I'm optimizing. because you want to work on the business, maybe as much as in the business, whatever, it's your business. But where can you save time? Because time is really one of your most valuable assets. I know it's said, well my money, man. I mean, without money, I can't pay the bills. I get it. Yes, we're not talking about that. But time, if you're comfortable, if you can provide your basic expenses, etc., you may be finding, I value my time almost more so than my money. So as you're growing this business, as you're creating the different multiple revenue streams, number 5 is where you want to eventually get to. The optimism, bringing on different people. Where can I save time to backtrack into step number 4 so I can double down and I can continue to grow? So I hope you got a value in this training here. I think that we can go a lot deeper as well. While this isn't, legal business structure or financial advice, of course, I really do feel like there's massive opportunities in any space, in any niche. It is literally how bad you want to make it happen. Because I mentioned to you that, no one's going to gift you $10K a month or whatever it is. You got to go get it. But instead of wildly grasping at straws, hoping that is this the 10K? It's like reaching into a barrel of 1 billion straws, and one of them is 100K a year. Are you gonna get it right? Versus following best practices, copying steps like this, researching. I would look at podcasts. I would read books. I've done that as I've read, listened. I do Audible, but entrepreneurs, business autobiographies, whatever it is. And finding your niche and learning what's succeeding in your niche, following best practices, learning about platforms. If you're going to go website, do the research into SEO. What is the most converting thing, right? What converts on Facebook? What converts on YouTube? And in fact, if you do want to convert on YouTube, if now is your year to really grow and dominate on YouTube, I also have a resource for you on yourdrivermic.com as well, specifically for YouTubers starting a channel, really wanting to dominate on YouTube. So go to yourdrivermic.com. There is an excellent mini walkthrough on YouTube branding as well. So I hope you got a value in this video today. Definitely walk it back. Look for the description, the show notes down below in the description. And if you did get value, definitely drop me a like on this video. Appreciate that. I appreciate you being a part of the team here. You can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you.